Modern society loves to tell us that independence is the ultimate goal. We're told to build our own lives, choose our own paths, and enjoy the total freedom of being solo. But there's a catch that people conveniently leave out. Being independent isn't just a lifestyle choice. In the eyes of the modern economy, it's basically a punishable offense. You're getting fined every single day just for existing as a single person. From inflated insurance premiums to the systematic denial of tax credits, the modern world is built to extract wealth from anyone without a partner. It's a hidden system of wealth redistribution that most people never even notice until their bank account stops growing. But today, we're going to stop being the victims of this math. I'm going to show you how to reclassify your life into a business structure that kills this penalty for good. Let's look at the predator hiding in your rent check. According to 2026 data, a single person living alone pays an average of $10,470 more per year than someone sharing a place. We call this the Zillow tax. $10,000 sounds like just another dry statistic, but let's anchor it to something real. $10,000 is a luxury vacation to the Maldives every single year. It's a brand new Tesla every 4 years. It's the difference between retiring at 55 or working until you're 70. And that's just the housing. When you buy groceries, you're penalized for not buying in bulk. When you pay for utilities, you're paying for the base connection that two people could share for the same price. Even your Netflix subscription is a mathematical trap designed for families. You're paying for a couple's infrastructure while only using one person's resources. The economy isn't hoping you find love. It's hoping you stay single and keep paying the premium. It's efficient, it's brutal, and it's working. But the real damage comes from the government. The IRS tax code is basically a giant incentive program for marriage. In 2026, the standard deduction for a single person is $16,100. For a married couple, it's exactly double, at $32,200. On the surface, that seems fair, but when you look at the tax brackets, that's where they really get you. A single person enters the 32% tax bracket at $201,000. A married couple doesn't hit that same wall until they reach $403,000. This means if you're a high earner living alone, you're being taxed at a higher rate much sooner than your married friends. And it doesn't end there. Social Security is systematically biased against you. Never married people receive roughly 60% of the benefits that married people do. You're paying the same into the system, but you're legally barred from the full payout. In the world of finance, there are deadbeats and there are revolvers. Deadbeats pay their balance and generate no profit. Revolvers carry the debt and pay the interest. In the eyes of the tax code, single people are the revolvers. We're the ones funding the whole system. So how do we stop being the interest? We start treating our households like corporations. The first hack is the household LLC. If you have a side project, a money-making hobby, or a freelance gig, you shouldn't file as a simple individual. By forming an LLC, you can legally deduct what the IRS calls ordinary and necessary business expenses. Suddenly, a portion of your rent, your internet, your phone, and even your travel becomes a business write-off. You're using the same solopreneur regulations that corporations use to avoid taxes, but you're applying them to your solo life. You can even use the QBI deduction, which lets you shield 20% of your business income from taxes entirely. You aren't dodging taxes. You're just using the corporate playbook that was never meant for you to find. It's a pivot, and it's perfectly legal. If you don't have a business, you can use the head of household loophole. The standard deduction for a head of household is $24,150. That's $8,000 more than the single filer rate. Most people think you need a kid for this, but it's not true. If you provide more than half the support for a qualifying relative, like a parent or a sibling, even if they don't live with you, you can unlock this status. You're basically being rewarded for being the anchor of your family rather than being punished for being solo. Finally, we look at the collective economy. People are starting to realize that a marriage license shouldn't be the only way to access wholesale pricing. In places like California, friends can legally register as domestic partners to share health insurance benefits. While the federal government doesn't recognize this for taxes, the state-level savings on insurance premiums can be thousands of dollars a year. Even more powerful is the co-ownership agreement. By using a tenants in common structure, you can co-buy property with friends, share the equity, and split the Zillow tax down the middle without needing a romantic partner. You're building the same financial stability as a traditional couple while keeping the independence you value. The singleness penalty is a structural trap, but it isn't unavoidable. The modern economy expects you to be a passive consumer of its plus one culture. It expects you to pay the premium, accept the lower tax deduction, and work longer for fewer benefits. But once you see the system, you can navigate it. Independence shouldn't be a tax, it should be a strategy. If you want to see how we dismantle the other hidden traps in your bank account, subscribe. Next time, we're looking at why your emergency fund always seems to disappear right before an actual emergency.